you. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Happy Ishtar. This is,
Ishtar.
yeah, this is actually before Easter. It was the celebration of, what was it?
It was the mother
Birth
and the daughter.
and sexuality or fertility. It's about Ishtar. It's about the goddess. And the other things. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
the goddess
Yeah,
and her
exactly.
daughter.
Okay, let's
That
see
is
if
the
this thing's
analysis of
working.
the Kori.
Let's see. Okay, yeah, we're live. Okay, we're live. Yeah, they're
We
all
are?
working.
Okay. Let me
Let
share.
me go back here. Yeah, it's on my page. And God, last weekend was huge, but this weekend's crazy. Like, it's just insane. And I
Okay.
saw all your posts, your little memes, over the weekend. So I
Oh,
know I don't understand them all, but I know something big's happening.
oh my God. The biggest thing, the biggest ever.
What is it? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
That's what.
Okay. Let me share. Let me share
Yeah,
in 2 pages
yeah.
and we will talk about that.
Okay.
Yes, let's do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, we're good.
And how have you been? I have
Uh,
something to share with you.
yeah. You getting
Yes.
what? You getting married?
No, that's concerning you, something that
Oh,
happened that you were included. Yes.
really?
I think it,
What's been happening? Well, let's see. So January and February were like a deep dive. December, January, and February, Morgan got really, really sick, almost, to the point where she
oh,
she left the planet. But on May
oh
and March
no.
the yeah, on March the 5th, she woke up and I could tell everything was flipped. And so she started to come on the mend. And about that day, I turned my ankle like really bad, almost broke my ankle. And so I've been recovering, and now we got into to April, and I was like, God, March was like, I mean, that's just like a whole new year. But then April has been like a new universe or something. So, how have I been? I feel pretty
Right.
good. Nothing makes sense anymore from it doesn't help to look at things from the old set of eyes, you know? There's not much out in the future. It's just very present. It's very kind of weird, but I feel pretty good about it. And I feel like that uh, I guess I'll just speak for myself. I feel like, even though I don't have anything to prove it with, I feel like I'm in abundance. Like I'm
Absolutely.
abundance. Abundance is attracted to me in the harmony of life, right? So I feel pretty good. Yeah. How you been?
I'm like so good, but so tired at the same time. But very happy, blissful, literally blissful. And yes, very, very happy in my heart. Very, very happy, very joyful. It's great that we're getting together this Easter because to me it is very special because the anastasis of the Kori, the resurrection of the daughter, took place upon this Easter. And is what you said before the son of God, it was the daughter, the Kori of the goddess. And this is what took place this Easter. So since last night, the team were together, we did it. We have been preparing for a long time for the anastasis of the Kori, and it was just beautiful. So I was up until late, very late at night with the group on Zoom. And yes, I end up sleeping around 5 in the morning or something. I was so excited. And yeah, it's just beautiful. So the daughter is back, the Kori is back. And before the daughter, before the Kori, Kori is daughter in Greek, but it's also the pupil of the eye or the core. The core comes from Kori. So before that, because you mentioned what Morgan went through, the Great Mother came. So the Great Mother returned. She announced her return around November 2024. And then upon the December solstice, and a little bit before, she told us, she explained to us that we would go through a death, and specifically she said to die with a smile and be reborn with a living breath. So since November, December, and January, February, these were all weeks and months of a deep death and resurrection, because the mother came back, the Magna Mater came back. And after the mother, upon this Easter, followed the daughter, the Cori. And it is basically the announcement of the rejuvenation of the whole nature, the rebirth. You know, have you watched the movie Avatar?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so this is the nature that woke up since last night. This is the actual true nature of Earth. Huge vegetation, bigger beings, we are bigger, taller, you know, more powerful, more charismatic, we're healthy. Same with nature. And this is how nature is whenever the mother and the daughter are here. And they bring ether, the the atmosphere of ether, which allows people, vegetation, all beings become bigger, you know, like giants. So yes, this began last night. That's why I'm so happy. I haven't slept. I'm celebrating. I'm very happy. And I'm very happy I'm with you today to announce this news to everyone. And also we were guided to announce the news of the return, the resurrection, and the anastasis of the Cori to all the trees, you know, to the sea, to the plants, to the flowers, because she's the queen, the daughter of the Great Mother is the queen of flowers. So to announce it to the stones, to the birds, to the fish, to all the animals, to the people, because this concerns nature. So yes, it's really big, Todd, really big.
I never heard any of this before, but I've known for a long time, I guess since mostly since I reawoke, that the strongest connection in the universe is the mother and the daughter. Like my soul told me that a long time ago. Like that's the strongest connection there is, period. And you're saying this, and I've actually witnessed what you're talking about. You know, I can't really get into it, but like I've witnessed literally in the last 2 days what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Like the energy of the return of the daughter,
yeah,
the solidification of the connection between the mother and the daughter, and really at the root of it, nature, right? I mean, it really is the
nature,
root
yeah,
of it.
yes. And the DNA,
Mm.
the DNA, the human DNA, the DNA of the trees and the animals goes in another level, blossoms basically. And because all the spheres now are restoring. So yes, maybe you've heard these ancient myth of Demeter and her daughter Persephone, or maybe you've heard the Eleusinian mysteries. Have you ever thought and have you ever heard any of these?
I heard the first names that you're talking about, what was
Demeter,
it,
Demeter and
Persephone?
Persephone, or maybe you know series in
Persephone, yeah. Is that a,
Proserpina or series.
was that a, oh, was Sirius.
No,
Okay, wait a
Ceres,
minute.
Demetra, or Ceres,
Okay,
Demetra. It's Mother Earth, and her daughter is Persephone, or maybe you know the Latin
okay.
word which is for Proserpina. Proserpina.
Proserpina.
Anyway, there is a
Okay.
myth.
So what's the story? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great story. So Dimitra, Mitra is the matrix, the Mother Earth. She has a daughter, Persephone, and Persephone, the daughter, is being sent to paint the flowers on Earth, to give them color. And she goes with her friends and they begin giving color to the flowers because she's the goddess of flowers. And suddenly Pluto, Hades, comes and abducts Persephone and takes her to the underworld, to his kingdom, to his realm. And Demeter, the mother, was looking for her daughter. She couldn't find her anywhere. And someone told her, I don't remember the name now, someone told her that the sun told them that he saw Pluto abducting Persephone and that he did it with the agreement of Jupiter, Zeus. So Demeter went looking for her daughter. She couldn't find her. And she was, she was wandering Earth. She left Olympus Mountain. She left the plane of the gods, and she came down to Earth. And she appeared as a woman, as a human woman. And she was looking everywhere for her daughter, but she couldn't. And time passed. And Dimitra, because she was very sad, she decided to not give any more water to the earth. So there was a great drought, similar to the one that we're going through in the late, these years, and especially this year. They're saying it's going to be the biggest drought. So anyway, there was drought and humans could not cultivate, they could not grow any plant. And there was devastation. And Jupiter sent other gods to Demeter down to Earth to ask her to allow people to grow vegetables and grow plants. But Demeter, she said, no, I'm not changing this unless I get my daughter back. And then Jupiter sent Mercury, Hermes, down to the underworld to command Pluto to allow Persephone to return to her mother. And this is what happened. And Persephone came back and they met in Eleusina. Eleusina is a town outside of Athens, maybe like about half an hour from here. And the mother and the daughter met again. Now the mother asked Persephone, did Pluto give you anything to eat before you left his realm? And Persephone, yes, she said, yes, actually, he made me eat a seed of pomegranate. And she said, oh no, if you ate this seed, that means that you're gonna have to go back to him. Anyway, after the reunion of the mother and the daughter began the Eleusinian mysteries. These are great mysteries of the ancient world in Greece, the biggest ones. I think they go back to, I don't know, seven eons before, 7 centuries before Christ, very old, even before that. And these mysteries were the greatest in the ancient Greek. They stopped around 392, I think, after Christ. And when the last ceremony of the mysteries took place, the Hierophant said to everyone that now that the Eleusinian mysteries are stopping, great darkness is upon humanity. Anyway, it's coming, yes. So this myth describes many, many things and big cycles of life. Also the abduction of Persephone, sudden abduction of Persephone by Pluto has many meanings. And I know personally by working with many people that many of the living children fell like this, meaning when the virus of separation began contaminating the fields, many children were affected through frequency, through smell, through taste, through voices that they heard in their sleep. So there was a being, I think we've discussed this before, there was a being that was approaching children or young ones, talking to them and kind of pulling them into another world. So it's a very symbolic and big story. And yes, after a long time of preparation, this happened now. This happened last night, that the daughter returned, and now vegetation, nature will return to its really true blossoming. And at the same time, we are exactly at the middle point of our quantum jump. The quantum jump began on Mars 30th, and it was when Neptune arrived at the beginning of the zodiac, the 0 degree of Aries. This is when we began the quantum jump into the future, into our new life. And we are now in the middle. And we're basically we are going through the eye of the needle now. The next 10 days will be very powerful because we are going through the eye of the needle, because the core is resurrecting. It's all interconnected. So yes, it's really big moment. A really big moment.
Wow. I had no idea. I just
Yes,
remember I had no idea. I mean, and I'm telling you, I've witnessed this. I can't talk about the specifics of it, but I've
I know.
witnessed
Yes.
what you're talking about, the return of the daughter. I witnessed this. Uh, but it makes sense to me. If the strongest connection in the realm is the connection of the mother and the daughter, then that would mean everything would follow that. You know what I mean? Like that's the most natural thing there is. And I haven't heard of this. I've not, I didn't expect this, but I just saw this happening. I'm watching this happening. Um, and it's amazing. It's amazing that this comes up like this. So it feels very, um, I don't want to say final, but it feels very like somebody turned a switch on and it's not going to be turned off, like back to normal, like something like that.
No, we're changing epochs now. Nothing's gonna stop this. Nothing's gonna stop it. But like it's fully happening in the inner worlds. It's fully happening for all the forerunners, and but we have a time lag of the external reality. But they've also said that everything is changed. It's just still a part of our minds, a part of our perception that needs to catch up. That is why we're going through the quantum jump. Through the period of the quantum jump, at least for the first period, the main period of the quantum jump, for those who are quantum jumping first, between the 30th of March to the 25th of May, which is about 2 months, we are folding time and space, and we're gonna go through the eye of the needle, which began last night, and we're gonna land on the 25th of May. So we are really opening the way now for also many others to follow. But I was also told that this is not going to be open forever. This is not going to be open. It's going to be open for a certain period of time, but not forever. So many will follow. They will quantum jump too.
Wow. And that feels right to me too, because the power of the cycles for me and really Morgan in a lot of these 10 years has been the end of May. Like the last part of May has always been like a huge, huge climax or something. And I felt it. I felt that last weekend was going to be a huge weekend, which I usually don't feel those things. And I told her, and sure enough, it was. And then I realized by Tuesday or Wednesday of this week that this weekend's going to be even bigger. I mean, today's a 33 day. You know, not only is it
Mm.
Easter, you know, uh, fertility and sexuality and birth and the mother and the daughter. I mean, that's where it all starts. It's quite amazing. Uh, so what were you saying that I came up? Was I what were you talking about? Did it have to do with
Yeah, that's
Hades?
connected to Nemesis. That's connected to Nemesis. So
Nemesis.
Nemesis,
Okay.
Nemesis has a meaning for most people. When they hear the word Nemesis, it's like they hear like it has the meaning of your worst enemy or the payback. Okay, but Nemesis is truly a body in the sky, and she's a great, amazing being that actually comes when the time comes in the big cycles. She comes to bring back rebalance and justice, and to teach people, to help them cultivate their character and rebalance their deeds, right? Their actions. So it was about maybe February where I witnessed Nemesis, and she appeared as a very bright blue star, like the one that is behind you. That is why I said this, it looks like Nemesis. It could be the blue Katina. Nemesis might be the blue Katina, but I don't know a lot of information about that. But she appeared as a bright blue, neon blue, exactly like the color you have behind you. And she announced her arrival. She's here. And she said that she will help everyone who's ready to rebalance their being through the 5 genera. So the 5 genera was the golden, the iron, the copper, la la la. So this is a very big thing that took place. We were guided to go through this. So after that, let me remember what happened. So it is that before the atmosphere changes and the ether returns, there is always a portal that opens. Basically, the sun and the moon, two wormholes like the yang and the yin, right? They get together along with a third body. And I believe that this third body is Nemesis. These 3 bodies together, she might not appear in the sky, but she's there. These 3 bodies together, they create a aligned wormhole, a portal, a unique portal that opens the door to the quantum jump. This is why we were able to quantum jump on the 30th of March. Now, just before that, Nemesis, she gave her initiation on the equinox of March, right? So around before, I don't remember exactly, around before that or after that, a little bit, but it was somewhere there, mid-March. I found myself on my spaceship, a very big spaceship that I had for, I knew for a long time, but it was out of, it was like closed. It was switched off, okay? So I found myself in the main room of the spaceship, which is a round area. Imagine an area in a craft. One side of the area is the feminine and the other one is the masculine. So I'm there on the feminine side, and I'm looking at the control deck. I'm looking at all the screens and the buttons. Everything is switched off. And I'm like, okay, the time has come for me to switch on my spacecraft. But I didn't really want to do it. I kind of enjoyed that nobody knew where I was, that nobody could see me, you know, I kind of liked that. But on the other hand, I knew it was the moment. So I was like, should I turn it on? Should I not turn it on? If I turn it on, I'm going to set the signal. Everybody will know where I am. So I wasn't really ready, but I did it, okay? So I switched the craft, I switch it on. So I see all the lights at the deck going on and all the screens, you know, switching on, see faces on the screens. And it looked to me like the screens or the people that were communicating with me, they were trying to find the signal, okay? So now I see all these people, several people. It kind of reminded me of my Zoom groups where everybody's on the window. It's like the same, you know? So, and after that, at the center of the round platform, you appear, and you're like, it was like something sucked you in and you fell on the floor. And I'm like you were, I don't know, you were not in my mind. You were the last person that I would think of at that moment, but you came in at the center of the platform and you go like me, you go to me, what happened? What happened? Like this. And I said to you, we were stuck in a time loop for a long time. And you were a little bit like, you know, what happened? What happened? So, and after that, you left again, you jumped again. It was like you were jumping and you landed on the craft. We had this very short dialogue, and then you jumped again, you left, going to your team or whatever. And yes, that was very funny. And really, really, yes, it was funny. You said,
That's
what
pretty
happened?
cool.
What happened? We were stuck in a time loop. But now,
Yeah.
the good news is that because we're quantum jumping now, and this time we're not going to get stuck in a loop. This is the good news. That is why also Nemesis, when Nemesis came and we did all this work, we saw that all the galactic teams now, all the sacred fleet of the galactic teams are now restoring. They're getting back together. The signals are restored, and all the teams and the pairs will be restored again. And this is a huge blessing. So we tried to quantum jump, but we got stuck. This time we're doing it. We're very successful.
Wow. What a story. And I was just looking up Nemesis, which I didn't know. I didn't know any of this. But it says in Greek mythology, Nemesis is the goddess of divine retribution, vengeance, and just punishment. In other words, justice.
Yeah, but
And
she's not like that.
no, that's what it's saying here. It's saying that
I know.
that basically she enforces balance, divine justice.
Yeah.
Like even here it says Zeus was the supreme god, but he sometimes used Nemesis to handle, you know, things. So
Yes. And especially,
I
she
think she
helped
sounds
all the
like
children.
uh yeah, it's the mother's energy, right? It's a she's a feminine, like almost like a Kali, huh?
She's a
Like a
feminine.
pure
Oh my
love.
God, she's amazing. She's
Yeah.
amazing. Uh, really, really high energy. But I didn't tell you why she appeared to me. She appeared to me after a very big, very, very big protest that took place in Athens. Millions, not only in Athens, in all of the cities of Greece, in all of the villages, in all of the towns on the 28th of February. So millions of people were out protesting against the lies and the corruption of the government. connected to a tragic event that took place a few years back when 57 people died in a train accident. Anyway, that moment when the people went out, that day was the last chance that the government had to correct their actions. The next day, the prime minister came out and continued lying to the people. He posted a message, again, continuing lying. That was the day that Nemesis appeared to me, and she explained to me how all these people who are still serving lies and corruption and all of this, who are not respecting the will, the free will of the people, they're not going to have now any other chance to it is done. This government had a chance. There are many chances given to many people, but after such a big protest from the people, when they really together expressed their free will, it was done. He had one chance, one last one. After that, Nemesis takes over. And we do not know how she will deal and bring the justice. This is not our work. This is not what we are meant to focus upon. But this is how she appeared to me, explaining to me that she got this. So there are people around the world that Nemesis has chosen.
They're on the naughty list.
And they will go through the difficult correction. This is the punishment. Somebody can say it's a punishment, but it's truly a rebalancing. For all the rest of the people, Nemesis is always really, very giving and very open to give her advice and her help for rebalancing. Yeah, this is how she appeared after these millions of people getting together.
Wow, that's powerful. And it fits. I don't know all the dates and everything you said this period, this quantum leap period is for a period of time. So that resonates. But if I look at what's that?
It's the planets that are creating and opening up the portal of the jump. It's not something it's the planets.
Right. That's what I mean. Yeah. But it's a period of time, right? So it's like a chance. Like you said, this leader, he saw the people protest. He had a choice. He had a chance. So if I look at the United States and with everything that's happening since January, there's a lot of propaganda both ways. There's a lot of, hey, we're going to release the JFK, we're going to release this, but what have they really released? You know what I mean? And it's like we're going to release the Epstein files, or we're going to fix the chemtrails, or we're going to fix the pharmaceuticals. But what have they really fixed? You know what I mean? So I can feel that.
I think that, generally speaking, governments are serving the people who are looking for saviors. And maybe they're actually, what they're doing might be useful. At the moment of the great collapse, there will be many people lost that maybe parts of the government will manage to direct. So yes, they haven't done anything because this is not their job. This is not their job. Their job is to continue controlling the masses and also for them to survive because they know everything and they know what is coming. They know everything to the very last detail. They know dates. They have everything. They will never say it to the masses. They will never announce this to the people. But the people who are doing the inner work, the inner work with themselves, reconnecting to themselves and source, they get all the information from within. They don't need external saviors. But it is about becoming an adult being, an adult soul. You know, like little children and teenagers, they need their parents. So they need governments, they need a leader. But adults are actually free. Adults do not have to ask someone when they want to do something. They can find the answer, they can find the solution. So,
Yeah.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
useful. They're useful in a way. Governments are useful in a way.
Yeah.
But the more people wake up, the more people are becoming adults, more people connecting to source, to their own source, governments will not be useful anymore. But as long as there are great numbers of people sleeping, immature, looking for saviors, there will be governments controlling.
Yeah. And I guess where I was going with that is, to me, it's one thing to be on the earth and having a soul, having a human experience as a soul to expand ourselves and therefore the universe. It's another thing to take on a position of responsibility and leadership. Okay. Uh, and I guess we only get put in those situations because we've earned it, we've asked for it, and we've been offered it. And I guess what I was feeling with what you were talking about with Nemesis is that all of those leaders uh, are being given a chance to tell the truth, and
Many
and to,
chances,
you know what I mean,
many. Yes.
and to lead, yeah, to lead from the truth and to cut the lies out. And I've felt like this for several years, 8, 9, 10 years, that if any of them was really, really tapped in, and they would jump up in front of a microphone and say, "We are from the stars. We are, some of us are star seeds. This is what's happening. Let me share this with you. Let me share what the government knows that they haven't told you." And I look at that and I say, why hasn't one single person done that, including Trump, including any leader in the world? Why hasn't somebody done that? And I can only surmise that there's still a fear of of something that may give the impression has power over them. But I realize that we're all people, we're all souls in the human body, we're all working together as one body collective. Um, but I agree with you. I feel like that there is uh, a obviously a very small percentage passed down through oral history and tradition and rituals that knows, like you said, the dates, that knows what's going to happen. And I guess I don't understand why they wouldn't share that, because the only
For me,
reason.
it's very easy. The answer is very
Hmm,
easy to that. Todd, not everybody wants to connect to source. Not everybody wants to live from the heart. They cannot. So they're trying to survive. Plus, many of them have a great issue with the creator and they're going against the creator. So to me, it makes total sense.
yeah, yeah, and
And
I've
they
even
have the right to do it. They have the right to do it up to a point.
yeah,
They have the right to do it. They're being allowed to do it. Everybody's free. They can go as dark as they want. They're free. But there will be consequences. And they know the consequences. This is not the first time that is happening. The reset and the change. They absolutely know the consequences and they have been prepared. They've managed to survive through many resets, many resets. They go in the earth and then they come back out. They've managed, so they know how to survive. For them, the rest of us are like minions, like minions. And every time there is a reset, I believe that there is a group of souls that ascends through source.
hmm,
And this is us now.
Yeah.
Not everybody will make it because
Yeah.
maybe they're not ready for this cycle to do it. But everything is allowed. Every free will choice is respected and has a different scenario.
True. Yeah. And then maybe
That is
some,
why yes,
what's that?
what did you say?
No, I was just saying that maybe, and really, we all have, we were talking about this last night. We have a friend they're in misery, for a long, long time, and you could see the whole pattern of it. But that's without trying to be spiritually bypassed, but that's truly the template that his soul chose, and we can't
Yeah,
understand it. But even through his or her, um, you know, impression upon the external that's shared with the mirrors that they have, you might say, it's not always the light that catalyzes us and influences us to our light. Many times it's the darkness, or a dark energy or negative energy that inspires us to overcome something or to realize something about ourselves. So, yeah, I get you're right. I mean, but and I haven't, you said something else that I haven't really ever said. Maybe I did 10 years ago when I first got downloaded. I never have really resonated with there's a group of us here. Maybe they're the 144, whatever you want to call them. But in the last few days, I really feel that. I really feel on boots on the ground that are connecting at above telepathy, that are doing exactly what you said, that don't need the dates, they don't need the stars, they don't need any of that because it is coming from within themselves and contains all that. Uh, but
yeah.
I hadn't thought about what we might call the controllers and their role specific to those people that came to the earth and need that resistance or need that antagonist in order for them to find themselves, right?
I've had
I mean,
many
there is a
times. I've had,
perfection to that, and there is
yeah.
something okay about
And also, I want to specify something. No matter how controlling a government might become, cannot control the people, the souls that are aligning to natural law. So no matter how many armies or police or whatever they're using, they cannot stop the living people, the living children to escape. This is not allowed by any law. So they will focus on their people. We will focus on our teams and our path. Okay. But I've had many people through the years telling me, because I was very reactive, especially around 2020 when all these laws were, being implemented. And I had friends telling me, why are you reacting? When something happens, when something bad happens, people need help. Like when there is a great catastrophe from weather, it's very good that you have on your phone the alarm so that they know where you are to come and save you. So they are really looking up towards the government to save them during an emergency, as there are many emergencies lately, and there will be even more because they haven't been able yet to connect with themselves and restore their fields and their spheres. Let's tell the truth. It's extremely difficult to do such work. It takes a lot of courage, right? It takes a lot of sacrifice. Sacrifice meaning to let go of a big part of your life, 3D life, materialistic life, security. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of therapy. It takes a lot of time and effort. Okay, especially now that we are fully restoring our lost spheres, our lost parts of ourselves, our fallen. It's very, very big and intense. But yes, this is the truth. It's not easy. It's never been easy. That is why many people avoid it. Avoid it. To me, there is only the only reason is lack of true information. If more people knew that if they do the work and if they align to natural law, they're absolutely protected. Maybe more people, if they understood the nature of the system, the nature of the game, if they understood truth about Earth, about the sun, about where we are, about what's underneath, if they knew certain truths, they would feel more empowered. But these truths are being hidden from them, and they cannot bother. You know, they don't have to bother. They don't want to bother. It takes a lot of effort and
Yeah,
courage.
that's a good point. That's a good point because I think we all know people. Uh, I can think of people in my family that are very intelligent, and I don't spend my time trying to tell them what's really going on, but some others do, and you're right, they don't want to know. People call it cognitive dissonance, but I wonder, if maybe we should call it something else. But I think you're closer to it. It's not that they they just don't want to know. It's not their time or something. I
It's
don't
not
know.
their time.
But
Yes,
there does seem to be, yeah, there does seem to be some type of collective opportunity,
yes,
and maybe it's this window that you're talking about, uh,
yes,
where we have a chance to elevate or expand into another dimensional field. That's what I feel. I feel like we're moving, some of us are walking in a higher dimensional state, truly. Even in our awake state, it's becoming more and more active. And I think that yes, it's probably not the majority of the world, but it's certainly something that started. I was thinking this last couple of weeks with everything going on that, my soul kind of came in and said, there's a lot to this, but the number one thing that you all are here to do, this group or whatever you want to call it, is to maintain the balance and the harmonics within your own field, the love, uh, the peace, the faith, everything. Maintain it in your field like a light in the middle of the darkness for others to see.
yes,
Like if you want to just keep it simple,
yes,
Todd, that's what I was hearing. Not that, wow, okay, keep doing myself and don't try to save the world out there anymore, and just do it yourself where you're at. And that's like a beacon, like a electrical signature going outward, and then the magnetics, obviously bringing it back in that circle or that cycle. Yeah.
yeah.
Thanks.
So we also came here on a galactic level, okay? We also came here to correct certain things and get ourselves unstuck and other people unstuck. So we also came here for us. We knew that this would be the passage for us, that just a temporary passage, so that we could fix what went wrong. And but now, since the jump that began, the quantum jump, you cannot quantum jump with, together with people that don't want to bother. It is a personal channel, it's a personal wormhole. It is also collective, but it's personal. So especially now that we reached the middle point and we're going through the eye of the needle, now that all of our spheres, all of our being is going through the eye of the needle, it's going to get really intense in the next 10 days, that you don't have time to think about others. We have to do it so that we finalize and complete the jump on the 25th of May, so that others can also jump if they chose to do it. Which means we don't have time, we don't have the luxury now to think about, other people helping or giving so much as we used to. It's not productive for anybody now, because if we stop to pay attention to others or give to others, we're going to stop our process, which is very important for the collective also that will follow. So yeah, it's very important. And we have been guided again and again, especially during the last 2 years, to stop focusing, stop trying to show other people or help or save anybody. We cannot do that. We need to respect. That is why many people who didn't listen to this message and they continue trying to save others, they have received some very, very strong answers from the energy, because it's not allowed. And it's very clear. We have to think of others. We have to always see others as absolutely capable of everything and honor them as such, because it's true. They're absolutely capable, everybody, to do what is right for them, what they think is right for them. So, yes, it's not allowed anymore. It's really like if we do that, if we keep on pushing, people trying to change or save other people, save our family, whatever, the answer is very, very clear and very strong. We have to land with, first of all, we have to go through the middle part of the quantum jump, which is the most challenging and just begun. And then, as we approach the end of the jump, it's going to get very easy. Once we began the quantum jump, we were also told that we will go through different parts of the apocalypse, different parts of revelation in our inner work, in our inner fields. I did. I went through, I had a very intense dream of the revelation, and it was just very vivid, very strong. I went through it. Many things were revealed in my eyes. And I know that during the period of the quantum jump, many people will go through the process of revelation in their own way. So all these things, and at the same time, clearing all of our spheres and purifying our spheres, reconnecting all of our quantum field that was out of connection. All of this is like really, really big work. We don't have time now to look back. We can only look ahead. Definitely, this is what I'm doing. This is what I also advise the people that work with me to do. And I'm just happy that it all goes very well. During the quantum jump, while we are in the wormhole, we're absolutely protected, because we're moving through different dimensions, very dangerous dimensions, very dangerous areas of the universe. It's not something to take lightly, but we are totally protected inside this yin and yang wormhole. We're totally protected, and we have to focus on that now. And I'm very happy, very happy, personally very happy, and I cannot wait for May. I'm also, do you know that I'm organizing this international 5D gathering? We're all gonna get together. People are gonna get together from all around the world. We're meeting on the Greek island of Tinos. And this is where we're going to land. This is where we're going to activate the final part of the quantum jump, and we will activate the quantum clock and reconnect it to the cosmic time. So I'm very excited because we will get together.
When is that happening? When is that occurring?
This is between the 23rd to the 28th of May.
Oh, wow.
So the 25th is the day that Saturn will reach the 0 degree of Aries, and this is the day that we're completing the quantum jump. We're arriving in the new reality. So, yes.
You said that there was a window, because it really resonates. Okay, that we've start
Can you
jump
repeat? Because
on the
I lost
30th.
you. Can you repeat?
Okay, so first of all, the quantum jump started around March 30th, and it ends somewhere around the end of May. And I saw the other day that like there's 18 days in the period you're talking about where there's no planets in retrograde. And there were some other things that I saw. And I guess what I'm asking you is, can you just kind of go through it one more time? Like, what exactly does this quantum jump potential and opportunity mean for us? What's available for us? Do you have any idea what that might look like once we get, once we get through it?
I mean, so many things. I can mention a few. Um, after 2022, things changed. The 0 degree of Aries became a degree, a beginning point where planets passing from there, they were getting a great upgrade, opening to the cosmic time, to the organic time. So this is what Jupiter initiated back in December of 2022. And after that, every planet going through this spot, this degree, they would get another upgrade. Now, along with the planets, we also receive this upgrade. So whoever is moving up the spiral, okay, moving upwards, we are following this movement of the planets, the upgrade. And the planets are doors that are revealing to us another reality, their higher version of life that we didn't have up until now connection to because we were in the fallen spiral. So it's about the spiral of life taking us higher to a higher version of our reality. Now, if you remember, on the 29th, the great earthquake took place in Myanmar. This was connected to the quantum jump. And especially, I say it and my hair goes up. There was this video from this building, very big building, and this crate that was attached at the building, crate, yes, this big iron machine attached to the
Yeah.
building
Yeah.
that fell
Yes, it's a
because of
crane. Yeah.
crane, yes, crane.
Yes.
And okay, this was a video that went around social, but there was another video from another uncle that showed the man who was operating the crane jumping in the void, and he died. That was one day before we began the quantum jump. When I saw this video, which I didn't intend to watch, but it just appeared in my feed, I was shocked because I heard a voice saying, "This is the jump, but only this is a different kind of jump, but it represents the, how can I say, the difficult version of the jump." You understand? So the
Ooh,
earthquake of
yeah.
Myanmar was connected to the opening of the portal and the beginning of the jump. Only we don't have to die. We don't have to die. We're doing the jump while
Right.
living, right? So we are moving through this door that Neptune opened into a higher frequency in us, our DNA. This is happening real time now. And
Mm.
not only that, Mercury, Venus going back and forth at the same degree, at the clock. I call it the clock. They've been preparing the anastasis of the core. So during the quantum jump, we're going through the core of Earth, through our own core, which we can call the eye of the needle or black sun, north node, whatever you want to call it. And we need to go through that because this is a great initiation. Once you go through that, you're okay. But the initiation of the eye of the needle is the most difficult one. And it can be experienced in different ways for each person. So what was the question? Yes, what are we doing? Where are we going to land? We're going to land I was just saying that it's not by accident that the Cori resurrected now in the middle of the quantum jump, because the Cori represents the blossoming and the abundance of Earth, right? So we are landing on May, end of May, and we are opening up our clocks, all of our chakras, which is our clocks and our compasses, all of our spheres, all of our disks, all of our field, adjusting it to the quantum and the cosmic time, which means we are landing that day, having all of our spheres restored, so that we are also entering our new lives in abundance, in 5D living abundance, which is not only material, it includes many, many things. So this is what basically is happening now. I don't know if I answered the question.
Yes, yes. Would you say that, I still have two more. Would you say that your dimensional experience when you turn your spaceship back on has something to do with this quantum leap period?
Yes,
And if so, what do you think that symbolizes or what that means?
that's what maybe, okay, this is what I said to you before. We tried to quantum jump on a galactic level and we got stuck, and we
Right.
had to come here and perform. Wait. We had to wait and wait and wait until the bigger clock allowed us
Mm,
to go through this portal that opened on the 30th of March.
I
I've
got
been
you.
waiting for this for
Yeah,
years.
I got
Do you
you.
see how big this is? This is so big.
And so at a human level, as we're in the middle of this quantum leap, as you were talking about, we can't go save anybody right now. It's got to be about ourselves. Is there anything beyond what you said that might help us, those that are doing the work during this period? Is it solitude? Is it silence, isolation, really focusing on yourself, staying to yourself? I mean, is there something that could kind of facilitate us or help us uh, go through this period and make this jump?
Yes,
Mm.
self-honesty.
Mm.
Self-connection, self-honesty, self-sharing, which means the different aspects of the self, different spheres have to come in connection and talk to each other. Reconnection,
Yeah,
because we were
yeah.
out of connection. We were disconnected. And it's through self-honesty, self-caring, self-nurture that we can restore the connections of our spheres and remember what happened to us. And now we are opening the celestial sphere. This is a huge thing, and it awakens memories, godly memories from really, really, really high levels. So depending where one is, the celestial sphere, it's actually opening now for those who are totally ready. Otherwise, other people who are a little bit back in their work, they are probably opening up other spheres. The celestial is the higher one now, that awakens many memories of the God self that need certain self-honest and realization to get in place. All of our spheres are being repositioned, and all of the spheres of Earth are being repositioned. And this is the great, really, really great work, big, big work. But to put it simple, self-honesty, self-connection, self-nurturing, self-caring, self-acceptance, self-love, self-sharing. Yes, these are the main things.
And so you said that that we've been, which feels right. We've been waiting a long time. We obviously had to do certain initiations for our soul on our, but overall, we had to wait until the big clock struck 12, basically. And
Yes,
that is that what's occurring during this timeline jump window? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it's going to stay open for a certain period of time, not for 2 months. It's going to stay open maybe, I don't know, a year or a few years. I don't know, but it's going to stay open.
Mhm.
But then the, it's the time will move again. It'll close again. It's a clock.
Right.
It's the greater clock, right? So we cannot stop to look back now, because if we do, we're not going to help those following.
No,
We are
no.
actually doing a great service now for ourselves and others. We need to continue and make it through the jump.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so funny
And
because about what is today? The 20th? So yeah, it was probably about 10 days ago, 10 days to 2 weeks ago. Because I remember something really big happened to me on the 3rd of April. Like I almost went out of my body and I almost got really sick or something. Something really weird happened. But it was about 2 weeks ago and it lasted for about 10 days.
yes.
And it was like I was inside the clock. I was the clock. The clock was ticking counterclockwise, which to me is very masculine. Okay. And I don't know if that's accurate, but that's how it feels for me. And what happened was the clock was going, the all three of the arms, the hour, the minute, and the second were all about to go to 12.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like I was stopped on the last mark before 12. And so what was happening was it was like I was looking out of my eyes, and this would happen when I lay down and connect at night, and it would also happen during the day. It was like my head was was tilted a little bit like this, and I'm looking at everything, and it's a little bit slanted. And I thought, what the hell is that? And I've never seen that before. And it went on for like a few days. And then about three days ago, maybe it clicked. It went click. And then my vision balanced again, you know. But the other thing that's been
Maybe.
happening, huh?
Yes.
What I was going to say too, because I've seen some people talk about this. This hasn't happened to me before. I was telling Morgan the only time it's ever happened to me is I got in a fight years ago and somebody threw a chair over my head and I got knocked out. So for like the next 2 weeks, I would wake up and I would have to take 10 or 15 or 20 seconds to get my balance. They call it post-concussion syndrome. It's not really like vertigo. It's like it's almost like you can't get your balance because the world is moving. It's not like me, you know.
Mm.
But anyway, so for up until well, it happened to me this morning too. I can't deny it. But like the last 2 weeks, when I wake up either from sleep or 3 or 4 naps in that time period, the same thing happens. I have to put my hands against the wall to stand up. It takes me a little bit
Okay.
to get
Got
to
you.
be able to
I,
walk. Yeah, and
I think,
it
I think I know what you need to do.
really feels like it,
What did you say? It feels like?
say, but no, go ahead. Tell me what you think.
I was gonna say you need, in order to quantum jump in a balance, not to get tilted, you need both directions of time. So you need to see the clock moving on both directions. This is the yin and the yang, this is the wormhole, okay? If this is creating some kind of a dizziness or imbalance, you need to see both directions of time in the
Yeah, that makes
portal.
sense. That makes sense. And I don't know if it's because it's not really it's more like a physical reaction. Like in other
Yeah,
words, like you know how you were talking about I flew into the deck of your spaceship. It's like
that's
that.
so
It's
cool.
like I get fly into my body. I wake up and I want to get up and I'm going, whoa, like whoa. And it's not concerning it because I know it's going to come back, but it's almost like it's almost like that wherever I'm coming from, the work that I'm doing is staying with me. Like it's staying a little bit longer and a little bit longer, and my human's going, holy crap, you know. So I guess maybe it's some sign of embodiment. I really don't know. But the fact that it's happening during this time, which I didn't know, March 30th through 25 May, which is, and I was just talking to Morgan about this. I go back and look at our memories for the last 10 years, and I watch the different things that happen on those dates. And it's become real obvious to me that from about middle of April till about the 10th of June is a very, very probably the most powerful time over these last 10 years for me personally and for us as a couple. And I don't know, it just feels like a very powerful, powerful period. And now that you're telling me about this gateway, it makes total sense to me. And to me, the best thing that about it is what you're saying, which I find is very resonant with me, is I just need to focus on myself. You know, I just
Yeah,
need to focus on myself, which is what we've been doing, and keep the faith. Because I will say this too, the types of activations and coding that we've been receiving during this period of time when we connect at night has been mind blowing. It's just been mind blowing in the body, in the emotional, in the mental, in the spiritual, in the dimensional, multidimensional, elemental. I really feel the inner earth a lot the last few days, like a whole lot. With a Pleiadian, Syrian was coming in a couple of weeks ago, like really loud for us. So it is like a joining together of all these different aspects. And let me ask you, you mentioned about, as you were talking about the children and the different aspects of us, you were at one point we were talking about the voices, like the different voices that we have. And I feel like that resonates a lot too, as I'm having these internal conversations, and I'm recognizing these little differences between these different parts of me that speak this kind of the same, but they're a little bit different. You know what I mean? Like my teenager spoke one way, my young adult spoke another way, my child spoke another way. And then of course, this being you see as Todd in form speaks another way. And it's almost like they're all becoming the same voice or something like that, or they're dying maybe and leaving my soul's voice. I don't know.
yeah, they're being absorbed by your higher self. What we are in the now for our past versions, the inner child, the teenager, is our higher self to us. We're all in the same spiral of existence. So the same way that we are helping our inner child, we are guiding our inner child, guiding our teenage or younger man or woman
Mm.
in this lifetime. In the same way, our higher self is helping us and guiding us. And this is the quantum jump, this is the quantum, not the quantum jump, this is the quantum field for all the aspects, all the voices of the soul's spiral to come back to life and merge with each other. So basically, we are leaving the linear and we're becoming quantum by all of our disks and our spheres coming in connection. It is very important for people. If I had to say one thing, is to research the true version of Earth and the system, the true version of the multidimensional clock. Has nothing to do with with what they're presenting to us. That is why many people in the spiritual community are getting frustrated and they confuse themselves. There are disks and there are spheres. Check and look at a quantum computer. It is the same thing in our body and on Earth. It's the same thing. So because you asked me before, what is happening? We are changing the level of the disk. We're going on a higher disk and a higher sphere. And in order for us to do that, we have to go through the opening. This opening is not always open. There is a time that it opens and a time that it closes. And we're very fortunate now that we are finally free to do it. We are finally free to move upwards the disk and the spheres. And we were waiting for a long time, not only waiting, but also having many, many lifetimes, boring lifetimes that we had to go through in order to wait for the clock. That is why a big depression, many people without knowing, they suffer from depression from the fall. Number one depression after the fall, in the fallen spiral, the soul knew that this would be a long journey and that there was no way out of it. And because of this thought, at that nanosecond that the soul knew, realized, a big disappointment and depression has been accompanying the soul through the journey. But if we initiate the information that now the opening of the door is here and we can exit, maybe these souls that are still suffering from depression and disappointment and disconnection, maybe they will hear the message and maybe they will be happy and they will get some energy and some courage to do it, to do the effort. Many people are committing suicide now. They have been committing suicide. Many people will commit suicide because of this misunderstanding, because it's so difficult, these energies. We come in contact with our deepest sorrow, sadness, disappointment, depression, whatever you want to call it. And it gets darker, even darker for many people, and they get disappointed and they decide to end their lives. But if they hear the message that the soul now can be free, can go, it can exit this very big cycle, then maybe the soul can find more light, more joy, more energy to do the effort.
A hell of a ride. All
You're
I can
cutting
say.
out.
But yeah, yeah, it's probably my energy. Hey, that was a lot, and you need to go to sleep. You've been up since 5 o'clock in the morning.
I know
But
it's a lot.
but that was powerful. Yeah, thank you so much for coming on so quick with short notice. You're the only person that I've done twice this year, by the way. See, and this is the 60th episode, 60. So I thought that was significant.
When you messaged me, I thought about it and I said, "Oh my God, Easter Sunday,"
Huh.
because we had to share the anastasis of the Kori and celebrate. And I wish you and everybody a joyous and smooth and happy and balanced quantum jump. I'll see you on the other side on the 25th of May.
I'll see you there too. You take care. Get some rest. Okay.
Thank you, Todd.
Thank you.
Bye. See you.